I think that we often end up with more questions than answers, and that's definitely true with TOK, and especially with perspective. Like, should we all believe in an idea like tabula rasa, where everyone is born a blank slate and then perspective is learned? Or are we born with inherited perspectives and ideas? I don't think we can ever really know the answer to this question. Because there's just too many variables to find a really meaningful answer to this. And this can be one of the more frustrating parts of TOK. But it's also what makes TOK really interesting, because sometimes there isn't a definitive answer to every question. And I think this really showed me that as a knower, I can definitely accept when there's not one of those definitive answers. But I think, like most people, I'd probably like to have one. Um, I think also I've learned that as a knower, and specifically like when I'm learning, I like to be a part of discussions and presentations rather than a lecture style. Although I do like, to some extent, having lectures, but I really think that having presentations and like a dialogue really helps me as a knower to connect new ideas with pre-existing ones. So I think that really helped me a lot with TOK, because it is such a open dialogue in the class. And I think it's really good to be engaged like that. To the juniors, I would definitely say just try and enjoy the class. I mean, it's a really fun class, and especially with all the other IB classes, they're typically pretty demanding, and they can be kind of stressful, but I think TOK lets you slow down and think about what you're learning and how you learn. And definitely, as a student in TOK, try and get immersed into the activities, because I think we could have gotten more immersed in some of the activities. Sometimes we would use our own perspective rather than the perspective of the character we were playing, and that would kind of ruin the immersion. So definitely take on different perspectives when you're doing those simulations, and really try and figure out how other people think, because I think that's the idea of a lot of these simulations, is to gain an idea of other people's perspective. So